Class is in session. Episode number 2 of Jenna Teaches Ian History, Julius Caesar.
Hello, class, and welcome.
Hi, Miss Ross.
I hope you are all prepared with your pencils and paper for today. There will be a test at the end of this segment.
All right. Sorry about that.
Mr. Ian, you're caught with your with your phone out. I'm sorry, that's cheating. Please put your phone away or you're going to be sent to the detention corner.
Hey, I'm out.
You're going to get the dunce hat on you.
I'm out. Under the table. I'm out.
Hi. So this week's episode, I wanted to continue on with the ancient world since we started off with Cleopatra and this guy made a cameo into her story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I figured I'd take on one of the world's greatest military minds and political leaders and also most hated senators, Mr. Gaius Julius Caesar.
All right.
All right, everybody, there will be a test at the end of the class, so please prepare, and I hope you enjoy because he's got a story of great conquest and power.
Hey, how many kids are taking edibles in their class?
Dude, everybody.
Right.
They're all vaping before they go to school.
Oh, they're vaping weed, THC.
Yep.
I'm sure all kids are on edibles.
And there's a shit ton of parents that are okay with it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're all smoking weed too, and they're like, "Man, I started when I was your age, and I can be a successful lawyer. You can go ahead and do it too."
Boy, that's weird.
Right now, right?
All right, that'll be for another podcast.
Yeah, it'll be what are kids doing today?
Yeah, and our parents cool with it.
Yeah, I should hit up some of my old clients and talk to those kids and see what they're up to.
All right,
that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
Tube socks.
Yeah. And stiff as hell tube socks.
Crusty tube socks.
And smelling like pee.
Billy, aren't you done with your shower yet?
Mom, no.
I'm just trying to get clean.
You can't tell me how long it takes for me to get clean.
Mom, get out of my room.
I told you never to come in my room when I'm vacuuming.
Boy, Billy, you go through a lot of lotion. Oh, gross. That's the universal sound of whacking off. Which it doesn't sound like that at all. It's so funny.
No, but everybody knows.
Everybody knows what that sound is.
All right. So Gaius Julius Caesar. I hope you guys are in for this one. Gaius Julius Caesar was a celebrated Roman general, a statesman, and eventually a dictator of Rome, where he united the Roman states and conquered Gaul, which is modern-day France, Belgium, and Germany, and created an empire that stretched from Western Asia to Northern Africa and all the way to the British Isles. Pretty powerful dude. And he only lived about 66 years.
Well, I mean that's
crazy,
long.
right?
No, that's long back then.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be wrong because I don't know how to count backwards. Apparently.
Oh, why?
I've got some sites that are saying 66 and others that are saying 55, but maybe it's just because I guess the linear time isn't so linear back then because nobody has exact dates of birth and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point.
You know,
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
When they say how old somebody is, they're really kind of just guessing because they didn't have our Christian calendar back then.
That is
right?
Am I right? The one thing that the Romans really actually took a charge in is they created the Roman calendar, which is what a basis of our calendar is today. But the
Christians took over and fucked it up. And that's what we use now.
I guess
right?
Kind of. They had less months than we have. So that's in months with shorter days. So we really have no clue, honestly. But they're guessing he's between 55 and 66 years old.
Wow.
But they did give an exact date because he was born in July. July, it was once being, I think, Octavius or some crap like that. Some other Roman name.
He's a Cancer like me.
Yeah, he was born July 12th in
Wow.
100 BC.
2 days after me.
you.
Julius
I know. Look
Caesar
how
was
great
born.
you could be.
Wow. I need to start torturing slaves.
But the one reason why they know the exact date of his birthday is because, well, it's named after him. July is named after Caesar. Julius Caesar, July.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's going to be on the test.
Yeah. Actually, that's not on the test.
It should be.
That's a little gem there. No, because you're going to remember that. You'll remember your birthday, but nobody else's.
Jesus. All right, teacher.
All right.
Getting a little spiteful, aren't you?
No apple for me on my birthday. Screw you kids. I'm going home.
Do I get to stay after class?
I don't feel tardy. Hey, teacher, I brought my pencil.
What's that one from?
Really?
No, I don't know that one.
Oh,
Van Halen?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hot
that's
for
right.
teacher.
I'm hot for teacher.
Jeez. All right.
I should have put that song on.
That would have been a great one. It's got a bunch of teacher school sounds.
All right, get to it.
All right, I'm getting to it. So, July 12th, 100 BC, born Gaius Julius Caesar. He came from a long line of nobles, the Julii, and they claimed to be descendants of the Trojan prince Aeneas, who was supposedly the son of the goddess Venus. But despite their pedigree, they didn't have much political influence until Caesar's father, who was also called Gaius, became governor of the state of Rome in northern Asian provinces, and his mother, Aurelia, came from an influential family, which helped seal Caesar's father's governmental.
Gaius, is that where the name Guy came from?
Maybe,
huh?
maybe. Anyways, that helped seal his father's governmental place, and little was recorded about actual little Caesar's youth.
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza. Second Little Caesar and all the Little Caesars. Anyways, so in 85 BC, because we don't have much between any of that time from when he was born to when he turned 15, Caesar's father died, and it suddenly made Caesar head of the family household. In his coming of age, it coincided with the civil wars of his uncle, Gaius Marius, and well-respected general and politician, and his rival Lucius Cornelius Sulla, who fought for the control of the city of Rome. Marius and his ally Lucius Cornelius Cinna, literally their names are almost identical, were in control of the city when Caesar was nominated to be Flamen Dialius, or Dialius. There we go. It's hard. These words are hard to say, kids, especially when you've had 2 cocktails. Who was the high priest of Jupiter. So he was nominated to be the high priest of Jupiter. Yeah, at 15 years old. And he was married to Cinna's daughter, Cornelia, and together they had a daughter named Julia. Marius lost his life in battle with Sulla, and eventually Sulla's victory in his victory, he assumed a position of dictator. Gaius Caesar's marriage to Cornelia now made Caesar a sitting target, and he was stripped of his priesthood, his inheritance, and his wife's dowry. But he refused to divorce Cornelia, and instead he forced himself to go into hiding. The threat against him led him to get an intervention with his mom and their whole family, which included supporters of Sulla and Sulla reluctantly gave in and said that he declared that he saw a lot of Marius, his uncle, in Caesar. So he's a little worried about him. The loss of Caesar's priesthood allowed him to pursue a military career, and Caesar felt that it would be much safer if he could get as far away from Sulla as possible if the dictator decided to change his mind. So he left Rome, and he joined the army, and he served under Marcus Maniculus, Maniculus. I can't say these damn names. Theramis in Asia, which is now northern Turkey, and Servilius Arcanius in Cilicia. That's Cilicia. Yes.
Cilicia, huh?
In Cilicia. All right. These are hard names. Sorry, guys.
Those names are exhausting.
They're very exhausting. They're hard to say, and I've practiced them today,
like
too.
if there was class back then, you had 50 of those kids, they'd never get through roll call. You know what I mean? You'd just be
Marcus
Aurelius, Junius Caesar. That's just one person. Here,
Cervix Bigilius.
cervix,
Weird ass names.
cervix, clitoris.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch more for this
Vaginus.
whole paragraph.
That's what the chicks were named.
Right. He served with distinction, winning the civic crown
Penis.
for his Marcus Big Penises.
Marcus Big Penises, Aureliuses.
Marcus Big Peniuses and Aeneases.
And Aeneases. Stupid. Yet those names are actually pretty cool.
Well, I got a name for you later on.
Like when people name their kids like Maximus, I think that's cool. Yeah. And any of those. I like Marcus. Marcus is a great name. Any of those type of old Roman type names are actually pretty cool.
I got a name.
But they're long.
I got a name for you later on in this that you're gonna be like, dude, that's a rad freaking name.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, he served with distinction, winning the civic crown, which is like one of those golden laurels, pretty much a golden, laurel leaf thingamajigs.
Yeah.
For his part of the siege of Mytilene, he went on to a mission in Bithynia to secure the assistance of the king Nicodemus and his fleet. But he spent so much time with Nicodemus at court that rumors arose.
Is that Paul Mooney? Nicodemus.
No, Nicodemus. I can't pronounce these
right,
damn
I'll
names.
stop
You guys
it.
are gonna
I'll stop interrupting.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to look
fault.
at the transcripts of this. But he spent so long in Nicomedes' court. I can't say these damn words, these names. That rumors arose that he had an affair with the king and Caesar.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Back it up. Back it up.
He spent so much time here. Let me.
Well, hold on. He had an affair.
Nicomedes, that's the name.
Nicomedes.
King Nicomedes
had an affair.
He spent so much time at King Nicomedes' court that there were rumors Caesar had an affair with him. But in that time,
so they were homosexuals.
Yeah, but in that time, it was very common for older statesmen to take on like young, promising warriors and stuff, and they would have men would have more of romantic and philosophical affairs to like father son, but also like romantic sexually affairs, and women were more or less used as marrying off to create families, to create better political families and allies. And so it was just very common, especially in Greek and Roman society.
See, that's why
not so much in
that's
Egyptian.
why Greeks are kind of feminine.
I guess
because they've been getting their cheeks blown out for centuries.
They seem to be quite hairy and masculine to me.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Anyways, now I'm just picturing blown out butt cheeks.
Getting their cheeks just blown out. What did it smell like back then? You know what I mean? Like if two dudes are busting each other.
Probably the same as it smells now.
Like if two dudes were busting each other in the chops back then.
I don't know how much different that would smell than a guy busting a girl.
I'm sure they didn't.
This is not rated for
I'm
children,
sure they
by
didn't.
the way, guys.
I'm sure they didn't bathe as well as they do now, and I'm sure they didn't groom as well.
But that's just it.
They probably had Dingleberry Central, and then they're
Greeks
busting themselves in the chops.
That whole empire was known to be very hygienic compared to a lot of the rest of the world. They had. There's a reason why they have Roman baths. They would go daily and go sit in baths, and that would be part of their conversation. Their daily
I wish I could go back in
socialization.
that time, man. Wouldn't that be just fucking awesome?
So you can get
like
your
Bill and
butt
Ted's,
cheeks
man.
blown out by kings?
No, so I could just see like if really if these things are true. Because I picture, like in the movies, they make them all clean and they got I really picture these people dirty and smelly because the hygiene obviously was not as good as it is now.
They had soap back
I
then.
know they did. But water. I mean, it's not like they had.
The Romans were known for their aqueducts and irrigation. They had running water.
But they had holes in the ground where they had to dump. They didn't have toilets, right?
Yeah, but
they literally have holes.
Yeah,
in the
but
ground
they dumped in holes that actually had sewage lines that would take it out to the ocean.
Man,
the Romans.
I mean, we can dedicate an hour to the sewage because that's interesting.
We can dedicate an hour to the Roman aqueducts and their plumbing system. That's one of the things that.
Do you get my curiosity for that? Like, I'm trying not to just be funny by talking about dump, but no, I'm trying not to be funny. But the point is that it was harder to, it didn't have all the technology and everything to build everything that we have now, sewage and plumbing and all this stuff.
But the thing is that they had very efficient forms of aqueducts and sewage systems that kept the cities clean.
And where did it all go though? Just out in the ocean?
Yeah, just like it does now.
Yeah.
Just like it does now.
It all goes out there to Seal Beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right. Continue on, Professor.
All right. 78 BC. Julius Caesar receives word that his rival Cornelius Sulla has died, and for that, it means Caesar had the chance to come home, and after he fulfilled his contract with the army, he did so. Upon returning home, stripped of his inheritance and his dowry, Julius had to find other ways to make means. I wrote make memes, not memes, stupid thing.
They're making memes back then. They had weird Joe Biden memes.
And other ways to make means. And so he pursued law and used his charisma and powerful voice to gain attention from local politicians. It allowed Julius Caesar to help regain his family's status. So, he was a powerful speaker. He was a charismatic person. And he was apparently a great lawyer. At 25 years old, Caesar, in an attempt to make political friends across the Aegean Sea, set sail on a ship only to have it raided by pirates. And those born of lesser status, they were put into slavery, while those of higher noble birth were held ransom. When the pirates found out that Julius was of noble birth, they demanded an exorbitant amount of silver coins in the return of Caesar. But Caesar, being proud, he told the pirates they should have asked for more. Though, once he's freed, he warned that he would come back for all of them. The pirates scoffed. And then, when Julius Caesar's ransom was paid, Caesar used his oratory gifts, promising wealth and glory, to build a naval force and come after the pirates. He spent several months out there in sea, plundering pirate ships all across the Roman Empire. In return, it lined his pockets with gold and silver, along with the sailors that he set sail with. He then finally found the pirates who captured him, easily defeated them, and had all of them crucified.
See, the evil pirates.
Kind of a freaking badass.
Yeah.
Between this and the military conquest, it only added to his popularity, and Julius Caesar returned home and was summoned to the army to battle again in Asia. His victories there were so great, it earned him the title of military tribune, which gave him vast armies to command over and allowed him to return and run in political office.
Can I ask a kind of a dumb question?
Did you raise your hand, mister?
Another thing is raised. It's not my hand.
Don't make me get my ruler.
Well, I think. Do you have less than an inch on that ruler?
I didn't mean that. I meant to spank you with.
Oh, my question. My question is, the rulers were named Caesar even after Julius Caesar. Mm-hmm. Was that from Julius Caesar? Like, was he the OG? He was the original
OG Caesar, which also it moved all the way to to Russia, where it became the Tsar. The Tsar is is another pronunciation of Caesar,
and it's just off this guy's name. That's where Caesar comes from. So he was the first real, I guess, famous ruler, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
because there's always
Octavius,
rulers, but
Caesar and Caesar Augustus, and yeah.
So Caesar almost is another name for king, really.
Yes.
Now. Just after that guy's name.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right?
Okay. All right. I'm glad I brought it up.
Yeah, see. All right, so 69 BC, Caesar returns to Rome. And that year began his new political career, taking up position in the Roman Senate. And his wife Cornelia became pregnant. Everything seemed to be great, but Julius Caesar's life. I just called him a seizure. Right. I'm telling you, I can't read these damn words.
No, but keep rolling. All
right. Everything seemed great in Julius Caesar's life until complications arose with Cornelia's pregnancy, and she passed away during childbirth, alongside that of her baby that she carried.
Motorcycles.
Yeah. After Cornelia's funeral, Caesar was called back to the military action, and this time he was stationed in Spain as administrator of the territories controlled by Rome. He was there for political purpose along with military purpose. One day, while staying in Cadiz, Caesar decided that he wanted to go out for a walk to get to know the city better. After walking some distance, he came across a statue that was already worn out by time. It was a statue of Alexander the Great. And while gazing upon the statue, it led Caesar to be self-reflectant. At 33, he felt that he still hadn't conquered enough and done anything great compared to what Alexander had done at his age, who had already conquered an entire empire. And at that moment, Caesar swore that he wouldn't rest until he rose to that same stature. Julius Caesar fulfilled his role in Spain, gained fame as a renowned governor, and subdued 2 local tribes that had revolted against the Roman occupation. But he wasn't happy. So he spent too much time away from Rome, and so he came home and focused his efforts on achieving new political positions. He sought out to be the Pontificus Maximus, the highest priest of the Roman religion. And he was running against 2 reputable politicians, so he used his massive fortune to pay for his campaign, and he knew that he couldn't fail, because if he did, it would ruin his political career, and he would be broke for the rest of his life.
You know, what was how'd you get jobs? You know, what were the jobs back then?
Well, yeah, you figure people had to do everything in order to survive.
Right.
There had to be somebody who raised the chickens. There had to be somebody who murdered the chickens. There had to be somebody who grew the crops. There had to be somebody who made the beads.
There's things to do. Yes, there's things to do. But how was the
they had currency.
How was the currency towards service?
They had minted.
There was trade. I get trade.
No, they had minted coins. They had gold and silver coins.
I'm going to bring that up. Yeah, it's because there was a lot of work to do, but how was service rendered?
Coins, money. They actually had money.
Oh, I understand they had it, but how was it dealt with? How was it held out? You know what I mean? What was the wage? Is my question.
I'm not sure that they had an actual working wage at that time.
Exactly. But everything has to be negotiated upon, I imagine.
Yeah, it'd have to be negotiated upon, but also like Rome. The ancient Greeks were the first ones to create democracy in their states,
and they just create this coin that they make everyone go, hey, this is worth your life. This thing, isn't that a trip?
But at that time, it was actually minted off of the weight of the coin. You knew that it was worth that much from the weight of the coin. The thicker it was. Now our money is just symbolic of whatever fake numbers in our bank accounts that the government says we have. You know.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm typing in ancient Roman coins. And this is the Mark Anthony comes up. I know it's Mark Anthony. Shut up.
Mark Antony.
It's funny how they're like, these are basic 44 BC Mark Antony in a very good silver ancient Roman Republic coin. Now, it really just looks like
a quarter.
It's smashed piece of rock, really, is what it looks like. And obviously it's ancient. It's got to be bullshit because the price is only $149.
Well, there's a lot of them that were actually.
You imagine though? I think
no. There's a lot of them it's a very common thing for you to find. I have a set of
and
earrings.
we're just
I have a set
believing,
of earrings
though.
and a ring that's made out of like ancient Mayan coins.
Yeah, and I hope this doesn't get redundant because I don't believe anything. But you know what I mean. So it's like I go, how do we know this is really a coin? You know.
Oh. Mr. Levitt, can you please pour me another whiskey?
Here you go.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, so sorry to stop you. I hope, I just hope that these questions, I'm just going to ask the questions that go in my head because I want to know. But
that's all right.
I hope they're interesting enough.
I'm going to continue to make these words even harder for me to pronounce by drinking this Tullamore Dew right here.
Tullamore Dew, Irish whiskey, triple distilled, brought to you by...
Us.
Nabisco.
Nabisco.
Bing, boom, bing.
All right, where was I at? Okay, so he sought to be the Pontificus Maximus, the highest priest in the Roman religion. He was running up against 2 other reputable politicians, and so he used his massive fortune to pay for his campaign. But he knew he couldn't fail because if he did, his political career would be over and he would be broke for the rest of his life. So to fix this problem, Julius aligned himself with Marcus Crassus, well known for being the richest man in Rome. Crassus then secured the remainder of Caesar's debt and paid off everything else. As an ally, Julius won the election and took the position that he had hoped for, but he had to pay Crassus back, and that alliance wasn't ignored by especially the other powerful politicians. General Pompey noticed the alliance and Caesar's growing ambition. So Pompey, the powerful senator who was also respected and feared, came to keep his eye on Caesar over the years. In 60 BC, Caesar ran for Roman consul, the highest elected office of Rome. And as a consul, you're given the authority in the city to do pretty much whatever the hell you want to. You could even be acquitted of any charge, too. So say, like, you raped a girl. Like, nah, he's the consul. He could do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking powerful. He could steal from the Roman bank.
Why is the first thing you went to was raping a girl?
Because that's what we always go to, because I'm a girl.
Like, is that the first thing he's going to do?
I think I go to that because I think that's probably the worst thing that you could do.
Well,
raping. The only thing worse than that is raping children.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Or goats.
I guess so, but I would hold children above goats.
But why is it? But you went right to raping. You went right to, if a man has ultimate power, he's just gonna start raping bitches.
Because they do. Powerful men rape when they can.
Really? Is that a thing? Boy.
Yeah, that's what the whole Me Too movement is.
Well,
that's what it all started from powerful dudes using their power excessively.
you girls have a different idea, I think, of like guys don't give a fuck about you that much. Like get it out of here.
Yeah, we know.
Like the first like we don't care about you getting laid that much, where you're like, oh, I got power now bend over, bitch.
Then why are there so many cases of rape?
It's usually not from powerful dudes. It's from dudes that've been pushed around their whole life.
Yeah, but they use that in order to feel powerful.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, but they're sissies, though. They're little bitches.
Well,
they're bitch boys. I imagine. Now, I'm not saying these dudes ain't raping bitches. You know, that is a fact.
57 counts.
Oh, I know, especially Saudi Arabia and all, with the Saddam Hussein and all his crazy ass kids raping everybody. But no, I mean, you're right. But I'm just worried why your brain went straight to that once the man gets into power.
Always does.
Like, I imagine
that is the number one thing.
Having warriors fight lions, I guess, is the first thing they go to.
I'm afraid of walking out of my car at night.
I understand.
So yeah, it's the number one thing that women fear. Honestly, out of all things, we fear walking from our cars.
See, I'm lucky I was an ugly child. No one wanted to molest me.
With your buck teeth,
I had buck
and your
teeth
red
and
hair
pimples
and
and red hair. They're like, "Fuck this kid, dude."
They're like, howdy doody, he's gonna bite my dick off.
And I was trying to get molested. I was dropping a towel and just picking it up and like, oh, nothing, guys. All right, nothing. Guy in the mustache in the van. All right, buddy.
He's all, kid, my car's not full of candy or puppies. Go away.
Are you sure? I could check and see if there is some in there.
Your mom didn't call me to come get you.
Yeah, I went up to the guy that looked like Buffalo Bill. Would you help me with my couch? Would you? That's what he sounds like.
Is that what he sounds like?
Kinda. Is she a big fat? Okay. Buffalo Bill. I'd fuck me.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah.
Or else it gets. Why does your Buffalo Bill and your Bane sound the same?
Oh, do it? Yeah. Well, because that's what he sounds like. Actually, when he asked the girl to put the couch in the van, right? And he's like, "Would you help me with the couch? Would you?" That's what he does. I'm like, what a fucking voice that guy put on, man.
Well, you're kind of that's kind of right.
Would you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it sounds like Bane.
That's my Bane.
Yeah, that's your Bane.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, he ran for what did we go to? He's got so many offices that he's got. Oh, Caesar ran for consul, which was the highest elected office. He basically allowed him to do whatever the hell that he wanted. So Caesar won that election and proved to be dangerously ambitious. And that year, Julius Caesar married Calpurnia, who would become his wife for the rest of his life.
I like that name, Calpurnia.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Calpurnia Adams.
Yeah, that's a great name. Calpurnia Adams. Wow.
That was the name of Gomez Adams' mom.
Oh, really? It's a great name, though.
Yeah, it's a great name, right?
Yeah.
Calpurnia. General Pompey held deep discontent for both Caesar and Marcus Crassus. Caesar, seeing this to be soon a problem, thought that Pompey and Crassus should get together along with himself and discuss, reasons for the discontent. and forged a military alliance between the three of them. This alliance became known as the First Triumvirate. I hope that's the right word. I can't pronounce that.
I don't know what that is. Is that some political movement?
No, it's like it's called the First Triumvirate. If I pronounce that right, I'm telling you, I'm going to put the.
Do we know what that is, though? Do we know what that means?
Yeah, it means three powers combined.
Oh, okay. Say it again now. What is it?
Triumvirate.
Triumvirate.
Well,
is it triumphant?
No, it's not triumphant. Triumvirate.
I want to try it. Yeah, because tri is three. So okay.
So, anyways, the three most powerful men in Rome would work together to rule it. Pompey's power brought an increasing number of military presence on the streets in Rome, while Crassus used his wealth to build a massive naval fleet, the largest the world had ever seen, and Caesar used his will and military prowess to conquer the new lands of Rome, or the new lands for Rome. Caesar had his eyes set on Gaul. Gaul was a wild territory inhabited by multiple hostile Gallic tribes that was not easy for Caesar to capture, and in 58 BC...
The Gaelic, how did they travel over there?
By navy.
I mean, geez, that must have took forever.
Yeah,
right. Not that I know the distance between Rome and Ireland, right? Do I have that correct?
Celtic. You're thinking Celtic.
Gaelic is just within their dialect.
Gaelic is France, northern Italy, Belgium, and Germany. And so basically it's all Central Europe.
Okay. I did not know. I thought Gaelic was only Irish.
No, that's Celtic.
I'm learning.
That's Celtic and Celtic. So Celtic is Ireland and like Wales, and then you have Celtic, which is the Scottish. But they're closely related anyways, and you bring them all together and you get the Brittanies.
Yeah, see what I know about my Scottish heritage? Nada.
I'm going to start basing this solely off of your heritage.
You know what?
To teach you history about where your bloodline comes from.
You know what? I would love that, and I think I need that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got a next couple. After we do part 2 of this, I got a couple for you.
Okay.
All right. 58 BC, Caesar marched on Gaul with 24,000 soldiers, knowing that Gaul was inhabited by 4 major tribes that were constantly warring with each other. So he knew this and sent out 4 different emissaries to talk to the heads of those tribes, promising military and political alliances. In his letters, Julius offered military backing for in their tribal wars. Get this, he promised each tribe that he would back them in the wars against each other. In exchange to letting his soldiers into their territories and giving them food and provisions. The first alliances were quickly formed, and Caesar entered. The first battle between Rome and Gaul was at the Battle of Bibracte. Ooh, I pronounced that one right. Where the Romans found a far greater number of enemies than they expected. The Gauls that were there were part of the Helvetians, a tribe who were migrating through Gaul, attacking the other tribes and leaving a trail of destruction. Julius Caesar organized part of his legions on top of a hill positioning over the Gauls, and the other part of his legion were hidden on another hill covered by forest. The Roman legion managed to stop the Gauls' initial advance, and then in this arduous battle, it lasted almost a whole day. They took them from the flank and were able to stop them in their tracks. So he had the guys right here in front of them, the Gauls. Those are the only ones that the Gauls were expecting. And then he took the flank that were hidden at the very right time and told them to attack. They attacked from the side, and nobody was paying attention. They were able to overthrow them.
That seems to be the move in almost all of these wars that I've seen on television.
But Caesar was the one that invented that. He invented that shit.
The flank. Yeah. And now they use it in football.
Yeah.
Which is where football came from. Football came from
it's like
war.
Field chess.
Well, they were trying to make a game that was like war for the men when they weren't in war.
Oh, really? Did you just pull that out of your butt, or is that true?
No, that's a fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a fact. Where it started, I don't remember, but I did read it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Anyways, in 55 BC.
And I'm sorry, real quick though, they used dead men's skulls as the ball for in football before they made a ball.
And where was this created?
Let me look it up. Should we look it up now or keep rolling?
Sure. Is that the basis of rugby? Rugby's the basis of football.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
same shit.
It kind of like let's see, where did football start? I
hope you're taking notes on this. This is a lot of information. This is only part 1, guys.
Canton, Ohio. Let's see.
It's saying that's when the first football game was ever
who invented the actual football. Well, they're talking about the pigskin. Let's see. The origin, multiple. You know, I'm not going to bore you guys with this. I can't find it, but yeah, let's look that up. But I'm pretty sure that the first ball used to keep men doing warlike activities was football, and they actually used a skull.
Okay.
As the ball that they would pass.
I don't know if it was football though. That would be called something different and probably created by
but
American
that's how
white
football.
dudes.
No, that's how football was created.
And they used
that's
a skull.
how these things were morphed. You know, rugby, football. These things. You line up
like the basis of soccer was created in ancient Mayan times.
Yeah, but now soccer is the biggest pussies alive. So it's interesting.
Yeah, instead of guys kicking a super hard rubber ball through a hoop.
I mean, never
hundreds of feet in the air.
No, there's sissies because they fake getting hit all the time and then they fall on the ground and cry. It's weird. These are grown men that are faking crying.
Yeah, but it's strategic.
I know it's strategic, but a man doesn't fake that another man can knock you down that easy. You don't do it. Stop it, soccer.
All those soccer hooligans would hate you for that.
Stop it, soccer. Stop it! I know the Manchester United guys that fuck me up.
The people that are the fans of soccer are tougher than the soccer players.
I'm not saying like they're tough. It's the act. A man doesn't do that. Come on, soccer players, man up. Jesus. Okay.
From soccer to 55 BC.
All right, keep going. I'll keep that for my rant.
Okay. Why Ian hates both soccer and basketball. All right. 55 BC. Gaul was almost completely conquered, and Julius had accumulated massive wealth, like enough to pay off Crassus and enough to live in peace for the rest of his life.
How was he getting paid?
By raiding and pillaging. So
He's
basically
stealing.
So
Yeah.
like I said this in the last podcast, or no, not last podcast. I said this in the rant that I was on the other day. Like, history really goes to the victors. We're not talking about the raping and the pillaging and the stealing of all the money and enslaving people that he's doing to these other people. Their history is they were enslaved by the Romans. His history was I won and I became emperor of Rome. Mm. So we don't know any of their names, but we know his. So history goes to the victor.
Mm. Okay.
Anyways. All right. So he had accumulated all this wealth, and his term as consul was nearing an end. So he decided to return to Rome. But the year after that, his legions sighted Britain, the Isles of Britain. Nobody had seen them before yet. And that ignited a fire to him to reach where no other Roman had been. So Caesar set part of his legions to build a fortification upon the island, but did not expect the storms that they encountered while crossing to the Isles. They lost almost half of the fleets and all those boats that he had sent. Those boats then the few boats that actually made it to the Isle were surprised to see the British on war chariots that awaited them. This didn't discourage him, though.
The war chariots.
Yeah, war chariots. He wasn't expecting like fully civilized people.
See, that's a good job as the boat makers.
Yeah,
I bet you those guys made good money.
Very true. There's a whole side story to the boats that were being made during this time.
Those are very interesting to me.
This is a really long piece, and I had to omit so much stuff. Like it took me hours and hours of figuring this stuff out today. It was crazy. All right, 54 BC, Caesar finally arrives in Great Britain, where he set up a fortified camp along the beach of Britain, but they did not accept the Roman occupation. Caesar spent over a year there warring and eventually overthrowing all the tribes, but they fought, and further, this advanced his reputation as a great war general. Meanwhile, in Rome, the people were elated with his accomplishments, which further worried the powerful senators. And during that time that Caesar spent in Brittany, new problems began to arise in Gaul. The Gaul leaders gathered, asking the tribes to unite. And if they were to actually do this, it would be virtually impossible for anybody to defeat them. That's like 5 major countries. They're all uniting with each other that were warring forever. And they're warriors. They're like half of, like when they talk about the Colosseum and all the people that were the gladiators there, they were Gaelic and Celtic warriors that were being pitted against each other. So yeah, they were big ass dudes.
And they had their weapons of choice were swords.
No, they were mace balls, like the big ass balls that had like spikes and crap and stuff. Like not for the gladiators, they had some nasty like tridents
because of
they had crazy weapons.
The melted down iron to make those balls, right?
Sure.
How did they get the spikes on that? You know, they were
blacksmiths.
I know the blacksmiths were there. But it's amazing. I'm not saying how, like, I know they did it. It's amazing. That's what I should say. It's amazing how well they made those, how it's smoothed out. And because they didn't have molds. Did they make molds? No, they had to chip away and mold. And they didn't have a already made mold. Did they? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, we'll go through one of these days. I'll do the history of blacksmithing, and I have somebody.
Let's do a history of weapons.
I have an
history of weaponry.
I have an expert. The history of blacksmithing and weapons. I have an expert that can come in on this with us.
Okay.
And he actually makes medieval weapons and forges iron and whatever they're called armor and stuff like that and chainmail. He does all of that stuff.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. He actually just, a couple years back, he was the one that created the armor for the Las Vegas Knights, the hockey team. He created all the armor for
the armor or the pads.
No, the armor for their mascot. Like he's in full on like armor regalia for a knight. And
can he make a bulletproof vests and shit? That's probably it's hard to get that.
That's a different material.
Yeah, it's a different material. But does he do it? Because that's big money right there.
I don't know. I don't think he does that, but I know he does like armor and he makes weapons.
That's cool.
He makes killer weapons.
That's very cool.
Yeah. All right. So where was I at? Okay. The Gaul leaders gathered asking their tribes to unite. And if they did this, well, Caesar feared that they'd be nearly impossible to defeat. And one of those leaders was Prince, here comes the name, Vercingetorix. Vercingetorix was able to unite the tribes and attack Rome and its occupants. But when he heard that Caesar was to return, Getorix was forced into retreat to avoid facing the Roman legions. Vercingetorix.
Vercingetorix, I like it.
Great name, right?
Good name.
I love it. It's like something you'd hear out of the Never-Ending Story.
Yeah,
Vercingetorix.
Verse 1, verse 2.
Right. While retreating through Rome, Vercin decided that he was going to burn down all the Roman occupied cities and crops, destroying nearly all of the food and all of the housing for the legions as they come through. This strategy was working while Julius Caesar and his legions succumbed to hunger. Caesar, thinking fast, went to the leaders of the other tribes who weren't yet allies of Getorix, and managed to talk them into giving the legions provisions so that he could feed his soldiers. And again, he proved his military power in one of the bloodiest battles with Getorix by getting off of his horse and fighting hand-to-hand combat along with his soldiers. This raised the spirits of the warriors, and for the next 3 years, Caesar regained control of Gaul. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the end of Gaius Julius Caesar Part 1. Part 2 will come next week.
Gaius Julius Caesar. So the way they pronounce their names is in order, right? So Gaius is the first name.
Gaius is his father's. Gaius is the father's name, so it's the last name, and then it's Julius, and then
So
it's
Julius
the
is the
suffix.
name, but they would take the father's name.
Yeah,
Right.
kind of like
So it's like a middle name.
Like in Japan, the father's name is the first name, and then their actual like birth name is the second name.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gaius Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's father was also Gaius.
Okay.
So
Gaius what? Caesar was the father.
Gaius something else Caesar. I don't know. I
okay.
didn't look into that. Actually, I probably did. Nope, didn't. Just said it was a
okay.
Gaius. He was also a Gaius.
Okay.
But anyways, that's the end of that, boys and girls. I'm sorry I'm so horrible at pronouncing these names, but I really enjoyed doing all the research. And now is time for you to look at your notes.
Okay, I didn't take any. But
If you got the name, if you write down however you heard me pronounce the names, you were right.
yeah, I mean, okay.
All right. Ian,
Yes.
question number 1, which you'll know this now. What is Caesar's full name?
Gaius Julius Caesar.
There you go. When was he born?
1972.
He's 10 years older than
He's
me.
a hippie.
Nope. Think about it again.
It was 70 BC.
Nope. 100 BC.
100 BC.
30 years before you thought it would be.
30. Say what?
30 years before you thought it would be.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think, right? Because we're counting backwards.
In BC, you count backwards,
Yes.
and then AD.
You count forward. Because we're counting down to the timeline.
Wait, hold
of
on. What
one.
did I just say? Yeah, BC is before Christ.
Mm-hmm.
AD is what?
After death.
That's right. Okay.
So there's a
Wait,
good,
is that right?
Yeah, there's a good 30 years that goes between
death.
that, like with 30 or 40 years of Christ's actual lifespan that we don't count as time. I don't know.
Huh. And the farm.
Right? I would think it's after death. Somebody
No,
please
it
correct
isn't.
me.
It isn't. It means, that's right. Anno Domini, terms Anno Domini AD means before Christ.
Anno Domini.
Oh, I'm sorry. And before Christ is BC. So Anno Domini means,
After Christ or after his
it
death,
means
right?
it's Latin for in the new year of the Lord.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's supposed to be after Christ. There's before Christ, after Christ.
Yeah.
But the reason why it's AD is
Anno Domini.
Anno Domini. Yeah.
Meaning the new year of our Lord, which okay, so then Jesus' life is accounted for in time. I always thought it was BC before Christ and AD after death.
Now I'm reading something where there's a movement to get rid of that now. There's a breaking with centuries of tradition. The terms BC and AD are to be replaced with a system known as the Common Era.
Okay.
The two dating schemes are identical and both use the birth of Christ as their starting points, but the secular version does not acknowledge this.
Secular version just doesn't acknowledge that it was Christ's death or Christ being born. They just go, "Hey, this dude was born." This.
I mean,
how
I
we're now
guess if you don't
counting.
believe in Christ,
So why do you have to have a religion in on it? We're just saying this is a dude that actually like
somebody's
lived.
always trying to do
We're-
something
we're-
silly.
We're just basing it on the one timeline of this person's life. Anyways, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
I honestly don't care.
I mean, that is that's the epitome of living in the past. Literally, just move on. Really,
True.
you're gonna fight that.
That's true.
That's the hill you're gonna die on.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of living in the past, this is we got to move forward. What was Caesar's first priesthood name in his early life?
Oh, there's no way I know that.
I know that one was a hard one. I don't even remember that.
Like, I won't be able to name any names.
Well, what was not his name, but what was he the priest of? The high priest of.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. But I don't know.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't either right now. I can't remember it.
That's
Oh, I know it. It's oh, there you go. The high priest of Jupiter. I was gonna say Zeus because
that's right.
I always think back on the Greek gods, and they're the same gods just with different names.
yeah. That's how I was gonna. I should have known that one because I was gonna make a stupid joke that he was an alien.
Okay, so what was the name of his first wife? There was a couple of these names that were popping up. Same name.
Debbie. Yeah, I don't know.
Cornelia.
Cornelia, that's right. That's right, Cornelia.
You like the name of his second wife.
Yeah, the second wife, and I still don't remember, but I do like it.
Okay, so what was the age that he was captured by pirates?
What was the age? The age of consent, so 18. Yeah, I don't know.
No, he was 25.
25? Kind of close.
25 when he was captured by pirates. Told him, go ahead and capture me. I'll get my ransom, and then I'm coming after you. And then he did and crucified
And he did,
them.
and he got him.
Bubba, you okay? Sorry, guys. Baron's
You all right, buddy?
having a thing.
All right.
All right. Next question. What was his first child's name?
Well, it would be Gaius.
No, it was a girl.
Oh, Julie.
Close, Julia. Good job, baby. You just figured that he also named the girl after him, too.
That's true.
All right. Next one. What senator had the distinct distrust in Caesar from the very beginning?
Oh man, I know, and I really know that one. Come
You
on,
do.
Ian.
You know this
Jesus.
one, baby. There was also a whole city named
He
after
was trying to
him
go
that,
into
that got covered by a volcano.
Oh, I don't know.
It was his whole province where this volcano just erupted all over him and left this city in ash and mummified. You know it.
I don't.
Everybody else out there's going, God damn it, Ian, you know this.
I don't.
Pompeii.
I wouldn't have known that.
You wouldn't have known that? You don't know about the Isle of Pompeii? And it's a very famous landmark.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Well, I'll take you there one day when I'm all rich and famous.
All right.
And we can see the outlines of women and children hovering in the corner to protect themselves from the volcanic
Jesus.
ash.
Do they really have that? Still have that
Yeah,
outline?
I'll show you. I'll
Yeah,
show
look
you
that up.
photos.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, keep it going.
So, what was his second wife's name?
I don't know it.
Yeah, we already distinguished that one. And Cordelia. Cordelia and Cornelia. Am I right? Or am I just making that up? I got to look back at my notes. Guys, I'm sorry. I've had a few Tillamore Dews now. Oh, it's Tillamore Dew, sponsored. Jenna teaches Ian history, but can't teach it to herself. All right, next up. Who helped Caesar in the beginning to finance his political career?
Who helped Caesar in the beginning? Yeah, I don't know.
Marcus Crassus.
Marcus.
Yes. And finally, what Gallic warrior did he face on the return home to Rome? Getarex.
Getarex. All right, that's an interesting name. Look, these are the pictures of the bodies from Pompeii. Look at that, man. They didn't make that up.
No.
Yeah, come on.
No, they were mummified in the ash.
I don't know if I believe that at all.
And when it was being dug up, they
Wow.
actually found the bones and stuff inside too.
Dude, if that's real, that is so sad, man.
Just covered, literally melted and mummified.
Like,
in
look at this guy.
volcanic
Oh my
ash.
God. Yeah. Like if you guys listening, look that up. The bodies of Pompeii.
Yeah.
The Pompeii ruins, Roman bodies. Wow, man. If that's really still there, and these are really the bodies, like they didn't preserve these to try to,
They're already preserved for 2 millennia.
Man, that guy looks like he's trying to crawl out of there or something. But yeah, that's the worst where they're hugging their kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
All right, now I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, I bet you the death was pretty fast. I mean, but how does
Except
it?
for extremely excruciating is you're being burnt alive by
By lava,
by lava
right?
and
But doesn't
ash.
lava go through? Lava doesn't go through bones or anything like that. Like, doesn't lava just melt you?
I think it did, but
Doesn't it
also
melt you into nothing?
it hardens over you and then melts you. Once lava hits air, it starts to harden.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with lava.
Well, now we're gonna have to watch how they presume Pompeii
Lava's a trip,
happened.
man. It's a trip because it's from the center of the earth,
Yeah,
and
it's a killer.
and it takes everything out with it. Wow, it's a trip, and it's this thick little movement of
Rock, melted
rock.
So, baby, we really have to work on your note taking skills.
All right.
You only got 2 out of 10,
Yeah.
and one of them I gave
Well, a lot of
you.
them are names. There's no way I'm going to remember these names.
Well, you should be paying attention.
Well, I was paying attention too.
You just wanted to ask questions.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of interesting parts within the teaching, and I'm curious about little things, how these things were done,
Well, I'm going to go over my transcripts here, and I think that we should start putting them into the actual podcast.
Okay.
Once I can get all the spelling right, because I suck at writing these names down. Guys, I'm sorry. These names are very hard to pronounce. Servilius, Incarius, and Silica. It's hard.
Yeah. All right.
It all sounds like a sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, looks like class is over.
Class is out.
Class is out. Episode 2, and this is part 1. So we're gonna continue on with the next part.
The next part
on the
gets
next
way
piece.
more interesting.
Yeah, of Julius Caesar.
And I promise I will work on pronouncing these names.
I'll take better notes, maybe.
I really want to see you with your pencil out.
It's out. And we're out. See you guys.
Bye, guys.